We're all told the same thing, right? To build wealth, you gotta work harder, you gotta earn more. But what if that's only half the story? What if there's this hidden force out there that lets some people's money just explode in growth, while everyone else's just sits there, staying flat? It's a force so powerful, it's actually been called a wonder of the world. And today, we're gonna pull back the curtain and show you exactly what it is and how to make it work for you.
Yeah, you heard that right. Albert Einstein. When one of the smartest people in human history calls something the eighth wonder of the world, maybe we should listen up. So what on earth is this thing that can turn tiny, consistent savings into a legitimate fortune? So here's our game plan. First, we're going to uncover this hidden money superpower. Then we'll dive into how it really works and why time is its secret ingredient. We'll also look at the common traps that can completely derail your growth. And finally, we'll see why the most important step you can possibly take is the one you take today. All right, let's jump in. Section 1, the money superpower. The huge mental shift we're talking about is moving from you working for money to getting your money to work for you. It really has less to do with the size of your paycheck and everything to do with turning every dollar you save into a brand new employee on your financial team.
Just think about it. Every dollar is like a tiny little worker. You can either let it sit on the couch doing nothing, or you can send it out to work for you 24/7. This little worker never sleeps, never takes a vacation, and actually gets better at its job every single year. The key is just activating this workforce. And the tool for that? Well, that's what Einstein was so excited about.
And that superpower, that eighth wonder of the world, is compound interest. I know it sounds a little financially, maybe a bit complex, but trust me, the idea behind it is actually incredibly simple and honestly kind of beautiful. This is the engine that can drive your entire journey to financial freedom.
All it really means is you're earning interest on your interest. The classic example is a snowball rolling down a hill. At the top, it's tiny, but as it starts rolling, it picks up more snow, which makes it bigger. And because it's bigger, it picks up even more snow, getting bigger and faster. That's exactly what compound interest does with your money. And you can see that snowball effect right here on this chart. See that flat gray line at the bottom? That's your standard, simple interest. It goes up, sure, but it's a slow, predictable climb. But that top curve, that is the magic. Look how it starts off almost the same as the flat line. For years, you'd barely notice a difference. And then, whoosh, it just takes off like a rocket. The magic isn't at the start, it's in that insane upward curve that happens over time.
And here's what that looks like in your actual bank account. Say you start with 10 grand. With simple interest, 30 years later, you've got $34,000. Not bad. But with the exact same money and the same interest rate, compounding turns it into over $109,000. That's an extra $75,000 that just appeared out of thin air, all because your interest started earning its own interest. That, right there, is the superpower.
And here's a really cool little mental shortcut you can use. It's called the rule of 72. Just take the number 72 and divide it by your annual interest rate. That gives you a rough estimate of how many years it'll take for your money to double. So if you're getting an 8% return, your money doubles about every 9 years. It's a super quick way to really visualize that growth.
Okay, so if compound interest is the engine, what's the fuel? It's simple, time. And as we're about to see, time is the single most critical ingredient you have. It's even more important than how much money you actually start with.
Which, brings up the question we all ask ourselves. Does starting early really matter that much? I mean, what's a few years here or there? Is it really that big of a deal? Well, as you're about to see, it's not just a big deal, it's literally everything.
Okay, if you remember one single thing from this entire explainer, make it this slide. Let this really sink in. Investor 1 invests for only 10 years and then stops completely. Investor 2 invests for 30 years, 3 times as long, but because they started a decade later, they never catch up. In fact, they end up with $175,000 less. That is the unbelievable, mind-bending power of giving your money more time to work.
Just look at the hard numbers here. The person who started at 25 invested the least amount of their own money out of their pocket, but they walk away with the biggest prize by a mile. How? Because time did all the heavy lifting for them. This proves it. Every single year you wait isn't just a lost year, it's a lost fortune in future growth. So once you get this incredible growth engine fired up and running, your next job is to protect it. Because just like compounding can work for you, there are these silent forces that can make it work powerfully against you. And the two biggest wealth killers are the ones we almost always ignore. The small, sneaky fees that slowly bleed our accounts dry, and our own emotional decisions that cause us to buy high and sell low.
Let's talk about fees for a second. A 2% fee, it doesn't sound like a lot, does it? It's tiny. But what does that tiny fee actually cost you? Well, over 30 years, the difference between a low-cost fund and one with a 2% fee can be over $430,000. That is the dark side of compounding. It can work just as hard against you, slowly siphoning wealth out of your pocket and into someone else's.
And the danger is that these fees are often hidden. It's almost never just one simple management fee. You can get hit with transaction costs, admin charges, advisory fees. They all add up and create this constant drag on your growth. Keeping your costs as low as humanly possible is one of the easiest wins you can get in investing.
The second wealth killer is your own brain. We are hardwired to do the exact wrong thing. We panic when markets fall, we get greedy when they rise, and it causes us to buy at the top and sell at the bottom. The only antidote is to take your emotions completely out of the equation. Create a simple plan and stick to it no matter what. Automate your investments so they happen on schedule, whether the news is good or bad. And have an emergency fund so you're never forced to sell your investments at the absolute worst possible time.
So this all brings us to the final and honestly the most crucial point. After you understand the power, the fuel, and the dangers, what's the single biggest risk you face? It's inaction. It's the massive, massive cost of just waiting. So why do we wait? Well, this study shows the main reasons are feeling like we don't have enough money to start or just feeling uncertain about what to do. Both are totally understandable, but look at the cost of that uncertainty. Just delaying your start by 5 years, 5 years, can slash over $100,000 from your final nest egg. Procrastination is not a passive act. It's an active and incredibly expensive financial decision. But the best part is, you don't have to be a financial genius to do this. The path is actually unbelievably simple. Step 1, open the right kind of account, like a 401k or an IRA. Step 2, choose a single, low-cost, diversified fund. You don't need to pick stocks. Step 3, automate it. Set it up one time so your tireless worker gets paid every single month without you ever having to lift a finger. See, the force of compounding is always at work. Right now, this very second, it is happening. It's either working for you, steadily growing your wealth, or it's working against you through inflation and missed opportunities. There is no neutral ground. So the only question left is, which side are you on? Your financial future is compounding. Is it growing or is it shrinking?